Action. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Talk About It Tuesday. Today we are talking about when to rent your property. I'm Carolyn Sperling-Carino. I didn't put that on there today. Sorry, honey. With the link at Keller Williams on the Water, Sarasota. And my guest today is our local property manager, Annabelle Newland with SRA Property Management. So it's important to understand, I want to sell your home. Trust me. Of course you do. And I'm good at it. However, there are some times when the seller is just not able to. So it doesn't make as much sense to sell their home at the moment. Maybe they're going to be upside down on their payment. Hi, Casey. Maybe they'll be upside down. Maybe they're not making as much as they were hoping to. Maybe the market's changing a little bit and they're willing to wait. So those are all great reasons not to sell, right? If you don't want to sell and have this property, why let it sit there? Do not let it sit there. So,
absolutely not. A vacant home is a detriment to the neighborhood. It also is an invitation to vandals.
yes.
And of course, there's the possibility of some destruction happening. Whether it's an unfound leak that can go on for 2 weeks, whether it's a branch of a tree that comes in and then a raccoon comes in. There are many, many situations where a vacant property will end up stressing the owner even worse because they can't sell the home and now they're having to pay thousands and thousands of damages.
Right.
Well, and the neighbors don't like it.
Month after month, if you do have a mortgage, you're paying a mortgage.
Exactly.
You're paying taxes, you're paying insurance, and all of that adds up to a lot of money. So,
and the other thing that people don't consider is the wasted money in utilities.
In utilities, yes.
A simple home may be, let's just say $50 for an empty home for electricity. Let's say $100 for water, sewer, and trash. And most yards, back and front, about $100. So that's about $250 a year. That is wasted money. So a month.
Yeah.
So in a year, that's about $3,000. In 2 years, that's $6,000. Let's get a renter in there. Yeah, let's use that $6,000 for improvements on this house.
Sure. Yeah.
It brings the value of the house up, makes the tenants happy, but that's now value for your $6,000 instead of paying for somebody to not live there.
Well, so let's talk about, take a step back. So to sell the property, it really does come down to the price, condition, location, your realtor, their marketing. So if all of those are in play, but the price isn't right, we do want to at least have the conversation about what makes more sense. So who is it that can benefit from this? So we know the person that is upside down on the property, meaning when we sell the property after closing costs, their money that they're making off of the property is less than what they owe on it. So that doesn't make sense to some people. Some people, right? Some people are okay with that and are okay with even paying them to get rid of the property. Perfect. But so definitely those people. Another we've kind of touched on is vacant homes. If you have a vacant home, so again, why?
It's crazy not to be renting it. Let's rent it.
Yeah. And again, if you're not there, if a tenant is not there, or if you don't have a property manager that's coming by every once in a while, you will never know if a pipe bursts, if there's mold growing, something like anything.
Home watch. They come on a Tuesday and it could happen on a Wednesday and they're not going to come back for another 6 days. A lot of damage can be done, especially with water.
Right. And then you're already stressed out from paying all this money, and now you have this other expense. So if you do have a tenant in there, they're actually paying, and a lot of times you're either breaking even generally, or you are making some money, making some residual income, so you can put that away and help the upgrades of the property.
Upgrades.
Right. So let's say this: you have the vacant house, and right now is not the best time for you to sell for whatever reason it is, but we're paying. Let's say we're making $18,000 a year, right?
That's very easy.
After 5 years, what did we say? It was $93,000, right?
A typical home, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom in the Sarasota area. Not upgraded. I can get at least $1,550 for that house. So in a year, that's $18,000 of income. In 2 years, it's a little over $37,000. And in 5 years, which you have kind of said, our market may dip down and not come back up for another 5 years. That's $93,000 that you can use to go up against that mortgage, buy down your mortgage,
Right.
and or do some improvements or just make some money.
So let's say you're putting that much money into your property. And then you're like, okay, I'm ready because I bought down my mortgage, meaning your mortgage that was $200,000 is now $100,000. Okay. And so that list price that we were going to list at is way more comfortable now because you're actually going to be putting money in your pocket because you haven't been paying the mortgage. That makes so much sense to me.
And let's get back to the utilities. Let's see, what do we say? If
6,000 or 3,000 a year.
3,000 for a year, 6,000 for 2. It's 15,000 if you leave it empty for 5. That's a lot of money for improvements.
That's new floors, probably.
New floors,
windows. Some kind of upgrade that's going to give value to a buyer in the future. So we have the investor also.
This is a fabulous time for investors to be buying. So investors, come on down, buy in the Sarasota area, let the tenants pay. Once again, talk to your tax accountant, but I believe a lot of these improvements can be written off, so it's a double win.
Since it's an income-producing property.
It's an income-producing property. Let me manage it, don't have any headaches, and then sell it or come live in it.
Absolutely. So what we can do for you on that is I've done this numerous times with rental investors. We've crunched the numbers. So we can tell you what your general return on investment is going to be month after month. And so you can get a better idea. Some people have a specific number that they want. Some people have a specific percentage. We can figure that out for you.
That's your job, girlfriend.
Okay, I can figure that out for you.
You can do that.
Okay,
but
so
that taps into our snowbirds.
Right.
There's so many people that come down here and they say, "Oh, I want to retire here in Florida," and I say, "Well, then do it sooner than later. Get with Carolyn. Find a little property. It doesn't have to be your forever property. A small property in which the numbers, the return on investment works. Something that'll buy down this mortgage." Believe you me, 5 years is going to go by so quickly. And in the meantime, in this particular imaginary house that we have, if you can come up with, would we say $93,000 going towards, your mortgage, and if you're smart, you're also paying a little bit of this mortgage every month too. So by the time you retire, you could literally have a house free and clear.
Absolutely.
And it's not your forever house,
it doesn't have to be.
Then you sell this house. Now you have a big chunk of equity that you can then put into your forever house.
You're not worried about it. You haven't actually been paying it. You had the funds in the beginning, perhaps, but you have someone else taking care of it. So that makes, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, you'll be set to be here and retire. So that's great. So that's who we can help. Now, so Annabelle can help you with the finding the renter. One of the great things about having a property manager to find a renter for you is that she does background checks.
And that's the key. Everybody says, well, this all works if you have the perfect tenant. And there's not a crystal ball. You can't always find the perfect tenant.
Sure.
But we can get darn close with background checks, credit checks. There are a lot of things that we can put into place to make sure that you get a good renter. And by having a manager that is, constantly looking at the house, making sure that the payments are paid on time, just also helping, be there to help, say a new air conditioning.
You have local vendors.
We know the local vendors.
All the vendors, right?
Getting bids, all that. Things that the homeowner would normally have to do. Our management company does it, presents it in a nice package so that the homeowner is stress-free, doesn't get the midnight calls. And basically, we can carry on this house. They get a nice clean check every month. It's cleared our bank. It's never going to bounce to them. And, direct deposit, how easy is this?
At the end of the day, if you've possibly thought about doing this, or if all of a sudden you go, light bulb, this makes so much sense. It does make sense. If you can afford to purchase a property, or you have the property and you are okay with holding it for a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years, however long you want, if it's a forever rental, if it's a for now rental until you get down here, if it's a vacant, let's get this thing sold in a few years, that that's exactly who we're looking for. We need to talk to you so that we can get some money in your pocket and help you out.
And for a snowbird, I mean, this is your department. What do they need? 10%, 20%?
Yeah, that's all dependent on if they're, of their loan, what the property is, like condos and things like that. They're a little more difficult type of loan wise. So we want to really get more information on what the property is first. So, but we can discuss that again.
But it's basically a large down payment.
Sure.
And then the tenant takes care of the rest.
All the rest. Yep. Absolutely. And Annabella takes care of all of the annoyances.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
Sometimes it is annoying to have tenants and you don't always love the phone calls, but at the end of the day, you have a buffer who knows what they're doing and has dealt with this all the time.
Or a personality conflict. Not all the time do you have to love your tenants. And sometimes they're not your best friends. So it's easier to have a middle person to act between the owner and the tenant.
That's very true. Well, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so very much.
You are so welcome. Thanks again for watching. Talk About It Tuesday. When to rent your property. If you have any more questions, please give us a call. Again, I'm Carolyn Spronley-Carino with the link, your link to all things real estate and beyond. This is Annabelle Newland with
SRA Property Management, taking your property to heart.
That's right. That's why there's a little heart up there. So cute. She's the best. If you have any questions, please give myself a call. Give Annabelle a call. Her information is above. And we will talk to you soon. Happy Tuesday. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Bye-bye.